At Albuquerque Public Schools, students attend classes at any one of the 143 different school sites throughout the Albuquerque area. On any given day, circumstances may occur at a school site that require parents to pick up their students in a formalized, controlled release. This process is called a reunification and may be necessary due to weather, a power outage, or if a crisis occurs at the school. The District Standard Reunification Plan is a protocol that makes this process more predictable and less chaotic for all involved. Because a reunification is not a typical end-of-school day event, it may occur at a different location other than the school site that a student attends. In most cases, APS police, along with school and district leaders, determine whether to evacuate and relocate students and staff according to the school site safety plan. In the case of an active shooter, students and staff should immediately follow the ALICE protocol. Students and staff may first evacuate, relocate to another part of campus or nearby location before being moved to a reunification site. Because ALICE training emphasizes running from danger, there is a possibility that not all students will end up at the initial relocation or reunification site. Teachers need to make sure they have their class rosters with them in their Go Kit, so they can take roll and report any missing students to a designated administrator who will contact school police, who will assist in tracking down missing students. If a relocation and/or reunification is necessary, school officials will notify school police and respective associates. School police will notify the APS Communications Office. The APS Communications Office and the APS Web team will lead efforts to inform parents, the community, and media on the situation as it develops. If a parent or guardian is notified that a reunification is needed, there are some expectations that parents or guardians should be aware of. Parents and guardians should only go to the reunification site when they receive notification it is time for reunification. The parent or guardian should be able to present photo identification and either a reunification ID card or a filled-out reunification form, which will ensure proper reunification and also streamline things during reunification. When a parent can't immediately go to the reunification site, students can only be released to individuals previously identified as a student's emergency contact. Otherwise, the school will hold students until parents can pick up their student. There may be instances where a student may not be allowed to remove a vehicle from the parking lot. In this case, parents are advised to pick up the student. In some circumstances, high school students may be released on their own, but may only transport themselves and immediate family members. For students, the school administration asks that students be orderly and quiet during the process. Staff should direct students to the reunification area when they can have an approved guardian cleared to pick them up. Students should remain with staff until students are picked up. As a side note, keeping the cellular network usage at a minimum may be important during a reunification. For staff, after a reunification event has been initiated, there are specific steps that should be followed. If the reunification site is within walking distance, teachers and staff escort students. If the reunification site is not within walking distance, transportation will be notified and students will be transported by bus from the initial evacuation location accompanied by teachers and school staff. APS Communications will notify families about any type of evacuation and the location of the staging area using school messenger, phone calls and emails, social media, school and district websites, and the media. Greeters will be on site to direct families to a parent check-in location and help you understand the process. Step 1. All necessary equipment and information should be retrieved from the school site emergency kit, and students will be directed to a designated reunification location. Step 2. Parent vehicle parking areas should be clearly identified. Reunification receiving area lines should be set up with clear designations for an orderly process. Line number 1, reunification card A through L. Line number 2, reunification card M through Z. Line number 3, reunification paperwork to be completed A through L. Line number 4, reunification paperwork to be completed M through Z. Step 3. From the district emergency kit, fully charged digital tablets should be distributed to frontline staff for identification verification processing. There are only 2 methods for starting the reunification process with a student: either presenting a district-issued reunification card or completing a district reunification form. During a reunification, parents are asked to proceed to the reunification check-in area and form lines based on having a reunification card or not having a reunification card and needing to complete a reunification form. For parents needing to complete a form, all parts of the form need to be completed. In the case of multiple students being reunified, a separate form or card will need to be completed or presented for each student. During guardian check-in, identification and custody rights are confirmed. Staff member logs into Admin View. Step 1. The reunification card is scanned or form information is entered using a digital device. Step 2. The student's guardian's official identification must be confirmed against the identification information listed within Admin View. For parents that do not have a reunification card, a reunification hard copy form must be completed that includes student name, student grade, teacher's name, student's cell phone number, name and relationship of person picking up student. Step 3. Upon confirmation of identification, the recipient is directed to the reunification waiting area with a confirmation ticket. Step 4. The student is then retrieved by a staff runner who confirms the ticket information with the student's identification. At this point, the student can be reunited with the parent guardian. In some cases, parents may be advised that a law enforcement investigation is underway and may be advised that interviews are necessary. In extreme cases, parents may be pulled aside for emergency or medical information. As part of its Life, Health, and Safety Initiative, the APS District has formulated this relocation and reunification procedure. The district holds the safety of every student in the highest regard.